Do you worship Thakurji at home? Yes, Swamiji. So you must be offering bhog? Yes, I do. How do you offer bhog? Swamiji, it is so simple. I take one thali, I put all the food in it, and I put the plate on the altar, and then I ring a bell, close the eyes, then open the eyes. Then I take away the plate and start eating. But tell me, when you close the eyes and then you open the eyes, did you see how many rotis did God eat today? Which sabzi got minused from the plate? Which dal did he select more today? Did he eat the sweet or not? Did you see all this? No, Swamiji. Why not? God doesn't eat. If God doesn't eat, then why are you offering it? If it is your decision that God is not going to eat, then why are you offering? You are very correct in saying God does not need to eat. The Vedas define him. Esha atma paritapapma vijaro vrimrityur vishoko vijighatso apipasah satyakamah satyasankalpah. God neither feels thirst nor feels hunger, nor does he become old, nor does he become sick. This is the Vedic definition of God. However, when it comes to the love of the devotee, the bhav of the devotee, then God does become hungry. Then you go and see in Vrindavan, Sri Krishna's going himself to the houses of the gopis and stealing the butter. How hungry he has become. He is eating the half-eaten berries of Shabari. That is his hunger. He went himself to the house of Vidurani. You may have heard of that episode from the Mahabharata. When the battle of Mahabharata was becoming imminent, Lord Krishna went to try and forge a treaty. And he went to the assembly of the Kauravas and said, Duryodhan, the Pandavas are your brothers? Duryodhan said, absolutely. They have the right to live? Absolutely. In order to live, they need some land because they are Kshatriya warriors. Duryodhan said, absolutely. Lord Krishna said, in that case, let them have 5 small villages. They will be contented and we will avert this war. Duryodhan said, absolutely not. Suchakam naiva dasyami bina yuddhena Keshava. O Keshav, the amount of land on the tip of a needle, even that much I will not give without war. So Sri Krishna realized it's futile to explain to him. As a last recourse, he showed Duryodhan his Virat Roop, his cosmic universal form. The one that he will subsequently show Arjun on the battleground of Kurukshetra during the dialogue of Bhagavad Gita. He showed that same form to the evil Duryodhan. But Duryodhan was still not impressed. Some people say chamatkar ko namaskar. But Duryodhan did not do any such namaskar. He said, who is this joker and what is he doing? Tie him up in a rope and throw him in the cellar. Dhritarashtra had to intervene. Dhritarashtra said, look Duryodhan, enough is enough. Don't mess with Keshav or you will have to pay for it. When Duryodhan came to his senses, he said, all right, Sri Krishna, forget all this discussion. Let's have a meal. I have got Chappan Vyanjan ready. 56 kinds of items. Lord Krishna answered very aptly. He said, Sampriti bhojananyani apad bhojyani va punah na cha tvam priyase rajan na chaivapad gata vayam. Look, Duryodhan, a person eats for one of two reasons. Either he eats because he is hungry, or he eats because it is offered with love. In this case, neither am I hungry nor do you have any love. Besides, I have an invitation from Vidur's house. Now, Vidur was sitting in the assembly when his name got announced. He was no longer minister, he had been taken out of that post. He was sitting at the back. He got up, what? Krishna is going to come to my house and I have got no arrangements for him. He ran to the market to see what he can get. In the meantime, Krishna had already reached his house. And he started banging on the door. Darwaza kholo! Vidurani, Vidur's wife, was bathing when Krishna started banging. Vidurani said, "Who's there? Kaki, I'm very hungry, please open." Vidurani realized that God has come to my door and God is hungry. Whew! This is my chance to serve him. How did God become hungry? Because for many, many years, Vidurani used to meditate. If Krishna comes to my house, I will make him sit here. No, this is not good enough. I'll make him sit here. No. I will feed him this. No, I will feed him that. She used to meditate in her mind. And Krishna, sitting in everybody's hearts, knows everybody's thoughts. He knew all the devotion that Vidurani had done. So without being asked, he landed up. Now Vidurani lost her senses. My Lord has come. She ran out. She was an old lady. She didn't even realize she is not wearing clothes. She opened the door. Krishna came to know Kaki has lost her consciousness. He took his pitambar and put it on her. He said, "Will you not call me inside?" Vidurani said, Come. Now she made him sit. What to offer him? She had a few options, but she was not able to think because she was overwhelmed in loving devotion. The nearest were the bananas. She took those, and in her absorption, she's dropping the fruit, and the banana peel, she's putting it in Krishna's mouth. Krishna is eating that banana peel, enjoying. Wow! I have never tasted anything like this. You'll say you've never tasted anything like this, like banana peels? I heard your Golok divine abode has got so many tasty things. No, I am tasting the love of the devotee. God was relishing the bhav with which Vidurani was offering those banana peels. In the meantime, Vidurji came. He had come from the market. Arey, suno, Bhagavan. What happened today? Krishna offered so much respect in front of everybody. He announced my name. He is going to come. Let us prepare. And then he looked inside. Vidurani was sitting with Krishna putting banana peels in his mouth. Vidurji really lost his temper. God has come to our house and this is where you treat him. So he brought the halwa, puri, etc. which he had purchased. Krishna, please forgive me. Take this. She doesn't think properly. Krishna ate the halwa puri, but he said, Vidurji, don't mind. The sweetness in those banana peels is not in this halwa puri. God relishes the love of the giver, not the gift of the lover. So when you offer bhog to the Lord, Make the sentiment that he is going to eat it. After offering, when you open your eyes, at least think for a moment. Even today, he did not come to eat Pratyaksh Sakshat. He came for so many, for Dhanna Jat and for Sadhna Kasai, etc. That means I don't have any devotion. Thinking like that, if we feel a little remorse, we will get a few numbers, but we decide in the beginning itself that he cannot come. Then where is that faith? See, I'm only trying to prove that we need to go further ahead. We must not be contented. I'm already a devotee. That is the biggest enemy of devotion. Santoshas trishu kartavya swadare bhojane dhane trishu naivacha kartavya swadhyaye japadanayo. In three things, be fully contented. In your spouse, in your wealth, and in the food you eat. Whatever, sukhi roti, it's all fine. In three things, never be contented. In your study of the scriptures, in your giving in charity, and in the remembrance of the Lord, always think, I have done nothing as yet. I need to do so much more.